Hi you guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Patience. To my existing subscribers, welcome back. If this is your first time here, be sure to click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can continue to indulge in the Hot Bella experience. In today's video, I am trying out some new Airbrush foundation. This foundation was sent to me from Tickled. I'm super excited about sharing my experience with this foundation with you guys. This foundation is a foundation that is 89% organic water-based makeup that's infused with organic aloe juice. So that caught my attention right away because I love anything that has to do with skincare, and the fact that there is an airbrush makeup that does have some form of skincare benefit in it, I really like that idea or the thought of that. So Tickled Pink Airbrush sent me 3 colors of airbrush foundations. They sent me the color Mocha. I also got the shade Americano. And also got the shade Coffee. Tickled Pink Airbrush also has a wide variety of shades to choose from when it comes to their airbrush foundations. They have shades all the way from fair to dark. So that's really good too, because we know that all of us come in a wide variety of skin tones and we need to have foundations, complexion products that are going to be suitable for all of us. So there's a wide variety of shades to choose from. They also offer a product called Sweet Dreams, and this is a serum with argireline in it. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, but argireline is a product that you guys have heard me mention before. It's an ingredient that's also found in the product Tight Eye from Science Serum. I've done a review on Tight Eye a little while ago. I really like the Tight Eye product as well because what the argireline does is it acts as a liquid form of Botox. So it's going to help to smooth out wrinkles and those fine lines that can appear on our face, and it helps us to get that flawless look. So Tickled Pink has an actual serum that has the argireline in it. They also offer a day serum with hyaluronic acid in it. So we know that hyaluronic acid is also super good for the skin because it helps to plump the skin and make it look a lot more youthful. They also have a vitamin C facial serum. The little pamphlet here says the vitamin C facial serum is formulated to be light yet bring a high concentration of vitamin C to the skin on a daily basis. So vitamin C is really good for our skin as well. So Tickled Pink also has a facial serum, like I said, that has that vitamin C in it. They also have eyeshadows and lipsticks, and if you are interested, you can pick up a complete kit from Tickled Pink. So that kit would include your actual airbrush compressor, the airbrush gun, as well as the foundations. I still love traditional foundations. I have quite a few of them in my collection, and yes, I am going to use them. However, I do feel that having airbrush makeup or being able to use airbrush makeup is just an additional skill to add into your little cosmetic tool belt, if you will. And it does give you a different look in terms of your complexion when you're using airbrush makeup because it's being sprayed out in a pixelated type of fashion, which is what helps you to get that smooth and flawless look. So let me know if you guys are enjoying these airbrush videos and if you would like for me to get into a little bit more detail about the overall process. I'm sure you guys have seen the infomercials in late night TV where I think Luminous offers a kit, and now we know that Tickled Pink also has an airbrush kit, and there's other companies also that offer the airbrush kit. When I say kit, that's with the compressor, the airbrush gun, and then some of their foundations. If you've purchased an airbrush gun from either Luminous or from any of the other companies that sell airbrush compressors or airbrush guns, and you have not yet used it, I would encourage you to pull it out, play with it, because airbrush also is one of the most sanitary tools that you can use for applying your complexion products. You don't have to touch your face with your hands. Everything that's being done, it's being done with the airbrush gun. There is no makeup product that's sitting in the bristles of a brush that over time, if we're not cleaning it as often as we should, can lead to bacteria and other free radicals that could start to live in that brush. And as you're applying it on your skin, you're actually applying some of those things to your skin, which could lead to breakouts and a whole bunch of other undesirable results in terms of the condition of our skin and even our overall makeup application. So that's another reason why I think that if you have an airbrush, if you're interested in airbrush, it's definitely something that I would say that you should check out. If you have an airbrush already, you should play with it. You know, get more acquainted with it, learn how to use it, because it definitely is going to be something that I think that you're really going to like. So I'm going to stop rambling and we are going to get into the demo portion of me trying out the new Aloe Infused foundation from Tickled Pink Airbrush. Before I get started applying my airbrush foundation, I am going to conceal under my eyes, and I'm also going to do some cream contouring. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Liquid Concealer under my eyes. And for my cream contour, I'm going to use the contour wand from Charlotte Tilbury. So I'm going to get these products in place before I start applying any of the airbrush foundation. Looks good. And I've already done a little color correcting around my mouth area as well. So I'm just going to go over top of that orangey color correcting shade that I used around my mouth area, and I'm just going to use some concealer here to tone that down and blend that into, or a little bit closer to, my skin tone. And I'm using the same Charlotte Tilbury concealer to do that. Looks good. And I'm going to use my beauty sponge to blend in this Charlotte Tilbury contour wand. Looks good. And now that I've got all of my cream products in place, I am going to use the Hourglass translucent setting powder to set under my eyes. So I'm going to use a little bit of that to ensure that this concealer does not crease. Looks good. And I'm going to be trying out these airbrush foundations. These are from Tickled Pink Airbrush. So I've got three colors here. As you can see, I've got the shade Mocha that's here, and I've got the shade Coffee here, and I also have the shade Americano. I'm going to mix these two shades together for my foundation shade, and I'm going to use this shade, the Coffee shade, as my bronzer, just to bronze up a little bit more on top of this airbrush foundation. So I'm going to shake them all up real good. You know, that's a part of any airbrush foundation or airbrush product. You got to shake it up really good. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use my Temptu Air, and I'm going to take the shade Mocha, and I'm going to take a few drops of this Mocha and place this right here in the well of my Temptu Air. I'm going to take a couple of drops of this Americano, and I'm going to put this, just a couple of drops, 1, 2. That's it. That's all I need. I'm going to take that and drop that into the well also. And I'm going to use the lowest setting here. And I'm going to place my finger over the end here just to back bubble or to mix these two shades together. You can see it bubbling there. So that's mixing those two colors together. And now that the shades are mixed together, I'm going to start applying this foundation. I'm just moving in circles, and I'm not stopping. Anytime that I'm pulling back on the lever, I'm not stopping, because that's going to give me a hot spot or a concentrated area of product on the skin, and that's not what I want. I need for this to apply very evenly. And this is a water-based airbrush foundation, and it feels super light on the skin. Looks good. And I think I want to go in with one more round. So that's one thing about airbrush foundation, is that you want to apply it in light layers. You don't want to go in really heavy with one heavy layer at one time. You want to be able to do a light layer first, let that dry down, then go over it with another layer or apply additional foundation in the areas where you need it. So I think I'm going to go in with just a little bit more. This is looking pretty good, but I do want to add a little bit more coverage in this area here. I'm going to add a little bit more of the Tickled Pink Airbrush Foundation into my airbrush gun here, and I'm going to add one more layer. And now that my foundation is done, I'm going to use this shade here. This is called Coffee, and I'm going to use this just to bronze up my skin, or to add just a little bit more definition into my skin now that I've added my foundation. I'm going to start off with 3 drops. So I'm going to take 3 drops into my airbrush gun. I'm going to turn the airbrush gun on. We're on the first setting, and I'm going to gently pull back on the trigger and bronze up my face. So I want to make certain that I take this down on my neck just a little bit. I've got my sponge handy here, so just in case I need to smooth out any areas, I can do that. That's another good thing about airbrush foundation or airbrush products, is that they can be very forgiving as long as you correct your mistakes before it dries. So I'm just going to make sure that everything is nicely blended in, and then you can add a little bit more where we need it. Looks good. I like that. And I am going to add a little blush. I'm going to take my sponge and just gently kind of blend that in. Just a little bit. Don't want it to look like a stripe going down my cheeks, so we'll just blend that in. Very nice. I'm now going to add a little bit of airbrushed highlight. Going to add just a little bit here on the tip of my nose. Cupid's bow. And just a little bit on my chin. Just a little bit. Take my sponge and I'm just going to do a little bit of shaping here in the areas where I may have gone a little crazy. But look at that highlight, that blush and that contour, all of that just, it looks really good. And I'm not going to set this. I've been wearing this or trying this foundation out for about a week. And I have set this foundation after applying it, and then I've also worn it without setting it. And I like the look of it without setting it. I like the fact that it does make my skin look very glowy, and I like that. So we're not going to set this today. I really love this airbrushed foundation, you guys. Thank you, Tickled Pink, for sending these products to me. I love them, and I am going to be placing an order because now that I have been exposed to the Aloe Infused Airbrush Foundation, I think I need it in my life. I want it in my collection. I want to be able to continue to use it. Also, I really love this because I did not set this foundation or set my face with any powder. So this is what this foundation is looking like, dried down, and it is gorgeous. My skin doesn't look dull, it doesn't look dry. It feels very, very light on the skin. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.